I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Welcome, all of you, to the JSP Podcast, episode 2. Can't wait to get to these topics. Been waiting all week. Hopefully, you guys' week was good and very productive. I know mine was very eventful. But whose life isn't eventful nowadays? Everybody's going through a lot of hardship. So let's just talk about what we've seen during this week. We've seen highs and lows of all different types, shapes, and sizes. I know I have, and we're getting ready to talk about a few of them. And so welcome to the JSP Podcast. I am your host, Dante Knox, and I am here again joined by a good friend of mine. He goes by the name of Big B. We're getting ready to introduce him. Big B, what is going on, my man? Glad to have you. And thank you for tapping back in with us again, man. How you been?
Week 2, I'm loving it. We're
Yes, sir.
excited to get going at this again.
Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and kick this joint off again. And like I said, we're going to start talking about a couple things that obviously, we're going to address the elephant in the room. Oh, my God. What was going on today with the football team, my boy?
That was terrible,
Like-
dude. I wanted to take a nap. I was like, I don't even want to watch this. It's sickening. It was, and it's dumb decision making.
I heard about it, and again, I didn't tap into the damn game like I should have. I was listening to Merle Reese. Shout out to them, 94.1 WIP. I'm listening to them while I'm riding around. You know, I had my son with me, so we were going around to a couple stores, handling some business, and so I went to one of the stores, and they had the game playing. So I seen a little bit of it, but it was like a very little bit. And what I seen, obviously, they were getting beat. So what happened? Because you've seen it. Please elaborate.
The one thing, all right, to just the thing I keep seeing week after week is just terrible decision making, and the way we start off games, it's like the offensive play calling is. I can't understand how we could have a top running back and just first down, we're going to pass the ball. Incomplete. Then second down, we'll try to run. Okay, get stuff. Now it's like punt. And we repeated that process the whole first quarter. Pass on first down for an incompletion, to run on second down for it to get stuffed. I don't understand this. We have the running back with the most yards in the league, and it's like, oh, well, let's not hand the ball off to him, especially when your two top receivers are out of the game. It's why do
they do that? Because I'm starting to see a trend. Because I'm not going to say I'm the guru in football, but I've seen enough of it to have some common sense about it. Like there's common sense with this sport. And if it's not working, you go to something else that can work and use it. But if it's working, why do you abandon it? Why? And it's not even him. Every one of the coaches since before him.
Yeah.
All of our coaches do the same thing. Yeah. Like, you don't stick with the run. You abandon.
We're anti-run as a football organization.
I'm like, how is that? How can you possibly
be a good organization? We had some of the greatest running backs ever, too. It's like, yeah,
we did. And you know how there was a thing where, or I guess there's a thing where they go to another team and it all of a sudden they do better because like that team recognizes their greatness, or they have a better offensive line or a more consistent offensive line, or at least
our offensive line is pretty badass. But it's just play calling, in my opinion, and it's like we're just trying to outsmart ourselves. We're trying to be too smart. It's like, dude, you don't have to be the smartest guy in the room.
You really don't.
Just do what is in front of you.
Do your job. Just your job. Like, do your job and do it for the man to the left and to the right of you because
Sometimes
I
football is common sense. That's what
sometimes,
sometimes it is.
and by
It's just
sometimes you probably mean all of the time, but
I
it's
mean,
like
when you got
more.
Saquon, it's common sense.
Why you do all of this work to get these players and these pieces? You gotta use these people. But I mean, with that to say, I mean, there is a lighter side of this. Like when you go on the other side of the sports spectrum in Philly, the Phils, my guy. I mean,
Yeah. I don't know what not to be discouraged by is in Philly are two things right now. But the Phillies being one of them, and that's a great thing. The first time in 13 years we've won the division for the 12th time in our team history, and we clinched the first round bye.
okay.
After after we clinched that division win, we for the last couple games we kind of didn't get. We finally won again today, but that's fine. Season's over. It's time to move on to the playoffs and time to bring it home this year. I believe that this is better be the year. I keep telling my son every year, like we keep having teams that get so far in the playoffs, and I keep saying, "Hey, we're going to get to go to a parade. We're getting to go to a parade," and then
Yeah,
it
man.
keeps not happening.
And I don't know why. Like I said, I don't know why it's not happening, but it goes against it goes to the consistency thing. If you're not a consistent team, you can't hope to be a playoff team or at least a championship team
Yeah,
because you have to be consistent. And when it's time to actually play, you have to actually do your job. And if you don't do your job, I mean, you're not going to win. I don't care how much of a fan you are. Like,
yeah,
you're not going to win if you don't do the job.
yeah. And so I have high hopes for our Phils this year. I mean, I've had high hopes for the past 2 years too, but you know, that's all we got left to go on is hope. So
That's
I
all. Look,
believe that they can
that's
get
all
it
we ever had
done.
to go off of was
Yeah,
hope.
yeah, I believe we
Philly
can get it
fans, come on,
done,
man.
dude. And the other bright spot is, the Flyers. They could be starting their little comeback.
Oh yeah.
Um, Mitchkov, the the rookie player from Russia, he's looking pretty good. If
I have
uh,
not. That's one thing I ain't gonna lie. That's one thing I don't really tap into is is the hockey, and I've actually tried to watch it. There's something about it I can't get. It's just not. I
once
guess it's just not
you,
for me, man. Like,
yeah,
do I need to go to a game? You know what? So
you
many
got to learn it.
people
That's it.
told me I
It's
gotta go to a game, bro, because it's
you-
not the same. It
and you
really isn't.
gotta you go to a game, watch the playoffs. But it's like it's kind of like I feel like this with all sports. It's like once you learn the game itself,
Yeah.
once you can grasp and understand exactly what you're looking at, then everything becomes more
I, I
enjoyable,
think
more.
that's what it is, man. I just like I said, there's a lot of it that I don't get. Like I'm looking at, like I watch it. Like I watch it. I've watched whole games because it's like I'm a sports guy. Like nah, man. Like I'm even if I was to say I was a fan, I'm still a Flyers fan. Even though I
Right.
don't watch it, if I had to be a fan of somebody, bro, I'm a Flyers fan.
Yeah, well,
You know what I'm
right
saying?
now
So
it's like the Phillies are in the playoffs. They get more attention, and especially during bird season. I don't watch every Flyers game, but their season's starting to kick off, so I happen to check it out.
okay,
Most of my attention is going to be elsewhere at this moment in time, but I'm still going to make sure I understand what's going on because like they've been down in the dumps for quite a while now for the past many seasons. So, and I'm hoping that they're starting this resurgence of greatness to come back to Philly when it comes to their hockey.
yeah,
Um, our we only have a couple more years left on the Stanley Cup before they take our name off because every like 50 years or so, if the names come off the cup from 50 years ago,
yeah.
so and we're almost that far out since we won the cup. So
Oh wow, I didn't notice it was that long.
yeah, it's been
I,
it's been a while.
bro, look. what is a will is a way. I think there's still a way for them to do it, but consistency, like I said, it's got to be the key. And so
Yeah,
you got to have the key players to do it. I have to watch more of it to kind of get more of an understanding of it, but that's coming soon because
yeah,
like I want to get into it, but I think I might need to go to a game to kind of get like the respect that I think because I never played it. Every other sport that I respect like a whole bunch, I
yeah.
played. I played. We played. I played it whether it's gym or it was in the league. So maybe I got to go to a game like everybody says. People say the game. Have you ever been to a? I'm guessing
I,
you've been to a.
I went to actually. This would be a great video to pull up and show.
Yeah.
Is that it's the one and only Flyers game I ever went to
Yeah.
was I want to say it was like 2005. Um,
Okay.
and the last 2 minutes of play time, it was against the Senators, and
Mm. I
Flyers
heard of them.
won. We got free Chick-fil-A sandwiches with our game ticket because they scored more than 4 goals.
Man, you can't beat that with a stick. You know what
I
I'm
didn't I
saying?
didn't cash in on that great prize, but the last 2 minutes of playtime took well over a half hour to play because all
Mm.
they did was drop the puck and drop the gloves and start punching each other in the face. The goalies came out, the goalies came out and they started fighting each other, dude.
Yeah.
It was like one of the most epic time like hockey games ever,
Mhm.
and it was like my one and only hockey game I went to. It was kind of
Mm.
sweet.
I mean that. Look, I'm gonna get into hockey once I get into hockey, but like I actually look forward to it. I mean, because I'm either way, I'm Philly through and through. So the fact that the Phils actually um did that, like that's amazing. It's something like I said, where the negative there's always a positive after that can follow. Because the Libras like me are always about balance. So I mean, when it's unbalanced, that's when shit just gets weird, man. But yeah, hey, congratulations to the Phils and Eagles. Pick that shit up,
Please,
please pick that shit up
please.
because we can't keep on going to work and having to defend y'all to all our workers,
What are we? Yeah,
co-workers and all that. Because like we go in, they go like, "Oh, what happened to y'all Eagles?" I'm like, "You seen what happened? I don't feel like talking
I
about it."
know, I know. I get that's the worst part. But you know what? Good news. We have an extra week to figure. Isn't thrilled about an early buy to start the season, but now that we look the way we do and how many injuries we have acquired over the past 2 weeks, I'm okay. Let's have a buy. Let's reset, recoup. We're 2-2. We're 500 going into the buy, and now let's. We don't need to lose anymore.
Hell no, we don't
There's
need to lose no more,
no
man. We
rule
really
that
don't.
says you need to lose.
There's no rule, no such rule. And it's you would think that you're getting paid millions of dollars to do what you got to do. Everybody would do their job and they know how to do it. But the
The guy,
person that you're lining up against is also getting paid
right?
that
They
same
all
thing.
get
And
paid.
so, I mean, it's any given Sunday. We know that. And so, like, we're not going to win every game. So, Birds, please pick it up. We know y'all got it in you. You got the talent. Stop acting like that. Period. But, with that said, it's like being consistent. Consistency is the key. So, for me, I think today's segment is going to be more or less about keeping it real, like keeping the same energy. And I feel as though keeping the same energy is it's lacking in our community at the moment. And we are so used to doing what is trendy. We're so used to doing what the person to the right and to the left of us is doing, and we want to fit in with them. We don't want to stand out. We want to fit in with them, and we're not we're not doing things in a manner in which I feel as though it's like morally right. You could there's a thousand things that we could probably talk about um to show that is what's going on right now. But I think we can just look at certain things like let's keep it simple. And politics isn't simple at all, but we're gonna try to keep it simple. Think about think about the presidency, the presidential run right now.
Ugh.
Kamala, Trump. Just just hearing those names, it triggers people.
Oh yeah.
Brother, it triggers people. It's hard to
Oh,
even talk about this
those
conversation.
yeah, those two names carry a lot of weight.
They do, but I mean, they people. And at the end of the day, I think that's what I think we forget. Like who, like people, like
Yeah.
the ones that we see, they might be on a stature or you feel as though they're on some higher level than you. But I don't believe people are remembering that these are just people still too. Like they're
Yeah,
people. So like when you have somebody in a position where you're supposed to respect them, um, a lot of times respect is earned. Like, give me a reason why I should go with what you're saying because you can say whatever you want. What were you doing before you were running? What were you doing when you didn't have to be nice? What were you doing when you were in a position to help somebody else? Did you do it? Did you hold them down? When you're in a position to take the high road, did you? Are you an opportunist and you just take what the opportunity is available to you? Like, what was it? So when you look at these character traits, bro, and I want to get your opinion on it too. You look at a couple of these character traits that you know, they're both showing because they're both showing signs of deception. If you know about body language and how like when somebody gives you a question, how you evade the question and go around it, they're both doing this. Could you agree? Did you see the debate? Oh my god!
I only watched the clip it's because it was like
Oh, bro, the debate, bro.
they started
Oh,
like aggravating me a little bit too much anymore. It's
you
like
see me? I'm holding my head, and I already heard
yeah.
it. Like,
I did the one thing I hate about this the politics the way it is, our system set up is like it's less about like policy on how you're going to make a better country or help grow the country, and it's more just like attack the opponent. And
exactly.
that's the thing I dislike the most about politics.
Yeah.
It's you're a fool not to pay attention to it,
Hmm.
because it affects your life, unless like unless it's all a dog and pony show, like that the shadow government's really controlling. But until
I
that's the
think it's a
proven
little bit of that
fact,
too.
I
Because you know,
mean,
because they're controlling narratives. I mean, they
yeah,
own all of the medias, and by they, I don't know exactly who the they is because
yeah, we're
once
clueless
you,
on that.
bro, once you go down the line, like it starts getting weird. Like you'll see who owns something, and then you'll see they got partners, and then it's like it gets weird. You try to follow money trails, can't really follow it. There's stuff that they hide, and they're not letting. All I know is that the people that are letting this information out on the media outlets, they don't always have our best interests at heart. And
No,
by and I don't think they really ever really have our best interests at heart. It's whatever their agenda is what they're gonna push. Like if they don't like somebody, they're gonna phrase the title heading in a way where it's a negative connotation
yeah,
to turn you off as soon as you hear it or as soon as you see the picture. They'll put the pictures together to imply something, and then they'll just let the comments go crazy. And
yeah,
the comments go crazy,
yeah,
and they go so crazy that that's where I start seeing that people are forgetting we're talking about people. They're so comfortable online disrespecting somebody because they're not in front of their face. Because you used to get punched in the face, you say the wrong thing in front of somebody,
yeah.
but you're all the way a world away now.
Oh
So they're
yeah, you totally can't do that.
no, I mean, so they're saying people are saying whatever they want, however they want to say it, and they would never say that stuff in front of
Yeah, you
someone's
have the
face.
comfort to hide behind the screen, and
Wait, people are
there's
way
no
too
face
comfortable.
to face interactions really anymore. So it's like everybody is fearless.
Yeah, and people are they're just way too comfortable right now, and it's
Yeah,
like as soon as somebody realizes it's either something bad's gonna happen or people are gonna realize what's going on.
yeah,
And I just want people to realize what's going on because I had a conversation online. I forget the guys' names. I could look them up, but we were pretty much talking about how the media covers like people of color that were in a high level of I guess a high social level, where it's entertainer, sports person, regardless what it is, mogul, businessman, woman, whoever it is. The darker they are, the more comfortable people feel with the disrespect. It's like, how do you say certain things about a certain person and it not make you feel bad?
yeah.
Like it just boils down to that. Like we can keep it as simple as that. Like what? Like who raised you to speak like this about people? And like
Some people forgot who raised them too. It's easy to
oh man,
you know
that's a great. That's great.
because I've I'll see it in myself sometimes. It's just sometimes I just forget how to. When emotions get too much control, I forget
Mm,
what I
mm,
was
mm.
taught.
Man,
So and then
that's
some
crazy.
people just allow that to keep taking over instead of ever taking a second to reflect and look back on yourself. Too much is want to look at everybody else's trash instead of your own too.
Not being happy with what you have. That
Yeah.
is, I'm gonna be honest. Those are points that I think um people really need to, it needs to resonate with people, and if it doesn't, it really should, because it's going on so much that it's like I actually don't even me personally, I don't even watch the news anymore, because I know
Yeah.
something's going, it's going to pop up on my feed.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to tell me, and because when I go searching for it, I find so much negative. It's just like I don't see a reason to be so negative all the time. So and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the nicest person all the time. Shit bothers me. I get bothered by certain things, and it's like I got a temper too, but
Yep.
I got a bigger heart than I think I got temper. I care for you first, right? And
Right.
then I just don't like being stepped on or being disrespected, or how I think being, what I'm saying, like overlooked and, being talked down on. I don't think anybody likes that. But when I see somebody saying, like, I'm looking online, they up here talking about Kamala ain't black this and this, saying, like, I'm talking racial discriminatory, the
Uh,
nastiest stuff you can, these people in the comments
I know it's so wild, dude.
destroying this woman character.
It's 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 not cool. It's not cool to talk so bad about somebody. And I get it. It's like I'm not a big fan of the two-party system. I don't believe either one is really the answer ever because it
Mhm.
never seems to be. But
Yeah.
it's like, I don't agree with hate, and it's like you can't whether whether it's really the way she believes that she's going to do it, or if it's the higher ups telling her this is how she has to do things. It's you don't have to you know put her down
You don't.
to make your point right.
Once we get to the point where we realize that, or well, I realize that. A lot of people that I know realize that. It's the mass majority of people, and especially the younger kids. It's like I know we came up different,
Yeah.
but do you guys got to make it so apparent?
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Oh.
Can we care about somebody first, unless there's a reason not to? And then let's say somebody. Let's just put this out there. If Obama had as many charges and as much baggage coming into the presidency, do you think he ever would have been considered?
Mm,
What do you think?
what do
Because
I
I'm
think?
I'm gonna I'm gonna say no.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
think
think
I
he
don't
would have
think
been
I
able to?
know.
No.
It's
And
like,
it's not, and it doesn't even have to go much further than that. And we all know what we're getting at,
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's like we see what they're doing, like on CNN, or I forget, I don't know, CNN. I forget the station that it was on. Sorry, so don't get me lying, but I do remember seeing the woman that refused to call Kamala by her actual name. She
yeah,
refused, and when there were other panelists out there, and they were telling her how to say the name right, and she said, "I'm gonna." She literally said, "I'm gonna say it how I want."
yeah. That ain't cool.
I'm like, do you know that's a level of racism that is like deep rooted, almost subconscious, even like you feel like you're in the right to disrespect that woman, and you're sitting there trying to articulate your point so that we the people understand how what's going on with this political stuff, and you can't even stay unbiased.
Yeah,
You don't even need to be up there asking questions about any political figures if you don't even have the capacity to say the name right after you're corrected. Be wrong, but
yeah,
willingly wrong. Oh my God, bro. I would pull the clip up, but like I said, the
it,
negativity thing I'm not always into, and I'm sure people know what I mean. This happened a couple weeks ago. And so, like, this just goes to the point that I'm trying to point out. Keep the same energy. If
yeah,
you wouldn't let Obama up in that motherfucker, with the same shit you let Trump up in that motherfucker, Trump shouldn't be up in there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not voting for either one of them. Let's make this clear. I ain't voting for neither one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, you're throwing your vote into a ditch. The third parties never win. But out of fucking principle, I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
Because I did the lesser of two evils last time and picked Biden and Harris.
Yeah, and you don't feel great about it?
I didn't feel great about it then. I don't feel great about it now. I did what I had to do to keep Trump from getting back in there. But I'm not okay with the lack thereof that I feel as though has been going on the last couple years. And I'm not, and I know why it's like that, because when you go and you put a bill through, you try to do something, Congress will shoot that shit down.
Yeah.
So if you don't got the help from up top, nothing that you wanted or said you were going to do, even if you try, it's not going to work. And imagine actually trying to do what you said you were going to do, someone else influencing the outcome of that, and then the people saying, "Oh, you didn't do nothing as a president."
Yeah.
How could they? When everything Obama did, they shot down damn near. Everything Biden was trying to do, damn near, they shot down. And we can go through the policies that they did and didn't, but I'm not here for that. I'm here for the gist of like the generalization. We can get detailed all we want. And if you want to get detailed, you guys could join the live as well. If ever you see the join the live ticker, just let us know what you want to do, what you want to talk about. If you want to come in, we can put the video on, or we can take the video off and keep it off and just have it so it's like your caller, just the audio. But yeah, if you want to chime in on any of these subjects, go ahead, drop the comment. Go ahead and we'll send the link to your email, and you just gotta open it up. But
come talk to us.
Exactly, we would love that. But other than that, that's not even the only situation where I've seen that going on. I've seen that going on even with the Diddy situation. Like the Diddy situation itself, the dude's going to jail. It's fine.
Yeah.
He's going to jail. He's gonna, and whatever happens in there happens to him because he's absolutely guilty. There's just too much going on. Even if he's not guilty for everything, he's too guilty to not be in jail, and he's absolutely a flight risk. So to hell with that fucking bail shit.
Yeah. Well,
But
I'll tell you what,
bro, how people are going about this thing is weird for me.
It's what it's. I mean, all right. So last week when we touched on it last week a little bit, and I didn't before last week. Like also, I got little clippets, but it wasn't like a mass amount of knowledge coming my way about this Diddy stuff. But of course, like our phones are always listening. Uh, you know, so when we talked about it last week, all of a sudden, all my feed just filled up this whole week with Diddy's baby oil. Just filled up my whole phone, dude, which is mind blowing, dude. And then it's like I'm finding one thing, finding out another, and it's like, wow, Meek, we didn't know you were like that. I don't know what I don't know what we're listening to right now, and it's like it went from like down here in my mind to like now it's up here, and it's like
they put it in the front of your mind so you can't even forget about it. Every time you scroll, every time you go anywhere else, that is what's on. That's what people are talking about. And for the life of me, I don't like. Now, it's bad enough it happened. It's bad enough that the victims are gonna have to deal with this. All of this stuff is being aired up again. Imagine how hard it is for somebody that this happened to, and now you can't run from that shit. Now everybody gonna find out.
Yeah,
that's gotta be scary, and it's gotta be just tough in general to handle. These are not. This is not nothing, man. These allegations and what was going on, talking about murders, man, and underage, like it's like extorting people because you're in a position of power all your career, bro. It's a lot of stuff, man. The stuff, and we all seen what happened with Cassie in a situation like that. So this shit is not funny, but everybody makes it a joke, man. See, I know. Have you seen the comments from last week to now?
Yeah.
Can you imagine, bro? Can you imagine? Now, what did you see about the Meek stuff? Because I heard he was mentioned in a lot of things, but I don't think anybody really has anything crazy. I was like, oh yeah, this dude, because they're trying to make it seem like bull gay, and I'm like,
Well, all right. So what I
It's
got was I heard some, but then I finally came across a clip where I actually heard the audio. Now, can I tell from the audio that who is in that audio? No, there's no visual with it, nor I don't want to see that visual if it matches the audio.
yeah.
Let's start there. But it apparently what I gathered was like Nikki leaked this audio. So
Mm.
uh,
Why? Why would she do that?
I don't. Well, I think Nikki's pissed about Wayne getting snubbed about that halftime show,
She is.
and maybe the ties between Diddy and Jay.
I was a little messed up.
So
I was kind of upset about that too. But
I
like
was
I
upset about
see
that
why.
too.
I see, but I see why though. I see
see
I see why they
Kendrick, but I
could
don't
have
see. Oh, all
thought that.
right.
All right. So I don't know what they were really thinking, but why they could have thought what they were thinking. I see why they could have thought what they were thinking, but in the same breath, it's it's at the discretion of I guess that of New Orleans who performs then. So at the end of the day, they had final say about who they wanted representing them. So the fact that New Orleans even picked Kendrick is the more crazy thing. It's not all Jay-Z. The New Orleans had to okay that. I know shout out my guy Farron. He told me he sent. We were talking about this on Facebook, and he dropped a comment, and I was like, "What?" I think it was like a link or a screenshot of like an official something from the site from somebody that had something to do with the Super Bowl, and it's like New Orleans helped that decision too. It wasn't just Jay Z. It wasn't all him. Now I don't know what percentage of what goes to who, but it wasn't all Jay Z.
Yeah.
New
Okay.
Orleans was like that. So why would New Orleans say that is what they need to be asking? And it's like nobody was asking those questions. You know what I mean? They're all like, oh, it's on them and Kendrick this and Drake that. And I'm like, man, there's more to that. There's more to it.
Yeah. Yeah. There has to be. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I can understand you putting Kendrick in there, but
Yeah.
you can do Wayne and Kendrick, right? I mean, I
You
don't
can.
understand why it needs to
Kendrick can
just
do it for most of the time,
yeah.
but then let Wayne do a song or two.
I'm,
If he comes out with a Millie or he comes out with the Hot Boys, like, you know what I mean? Bring Juvenile back out there. Bring, you know what I'm saying? BG out there. Goddamn what's the name out there? Why am I drawing a blank on his name? I ain't seen him in a little bit. The producer, Manny Fresh. Shit. He was one of my I ain't gonna lie, he was one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite artists from the group when he was still messing around with them. But at the same time, it's like music is subjective and we know that.
yeah,
But
I'm ready to see Slipknot out there for the halftime show. I'll
Slipknot. Now that's the name I haven't heard in a little while.
I just went to
I used to listen
their
to them, believe it or not.
25th anniversary tour just passed by.
25.
Yeah, which once it's like that made me feel, a little bit up there in age. It's like, damn, dude, 25 years ago is when I started listening to these guys,
It happens to the best of us, my guy.
dude.
And
But it's awesome that they're still out there kicking it.
yeah, I ain't gonna front. I actually like when, the people are like people still selling out records after 20 years, 30 years. I still like that. Like I like that shit where it's like you would think that nowadays when people are always talking about being relevant, that an older artist would be deterred from doing what they're doing. But quite the opposite, man. People selling out records across overseas in the States, having crazy tiny desk performances. Like that's what I like. That's what I want to see from my artists. So especially my favorite ones. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I actually applaud them for it. This shit ain't easy, man. To do,
No,
especially if it's the same songs from back in the day. You know what I mean? It's not easy. So knowing that it wasn't just Wayne, or excuse me, wasn't just New Orleans that had something to do with that, it's just like it's more to it. And so I looked into it and found out that a lot of Wayne's recent shows weren't, let's just say, the best type of performances.
oh really? Wow.
Unfortunately, we're gonna keep it honest, brother. No, whether
Yeah.
he, whether he forgot his lyrics, or whether he just energy just wasn't up, whether he wasn't working the crowd, and also I've seen and heard, or more heard than seen, that he doesn't practice. He didn't wasn't coming to certain practices.
Mm.
Like you got to practice for certain things like this. So you go up there where the dancers, where the pyrotechnics, like where's the like is there can you make a story out of it? You got any props going on? But you have to practice that so your spacing. Like I was in drama in high school, so you have spatial awareness when you're on the stage, and I'm a performer. I've been performing all my life.
Yeah.
Like it's always good to know the stage before you go. And if you are performing with people, especially even if it's a hype man, you got to perform it before you go. You gotta practice. So he was AI. He was Allen Iverson in that shit, man. AI. The hell
We're talking
with the
about practice.
practice.
He's too busy skateboarding.
You know what I'm saying?
and
And more power to him. I seen he's got better with the skate. Have you seen him skateboard recently?
Yeah,
he's
man,
he's a lot better than he was. I mean, he's
better.
older now, so now it's like
it's better than me.
yeah,
That's for sure.
he's damn sure better than me. I can't even freaking ollie over a curb.
I'm too big for that shit. That's what I say.
Yeah. Let's go with that. Yeah,
I'm top heavy. I just fall right on over.
And the funny part about, and like I said, let's go to the next thing, and we might want to end that tonight on this one, because of a lot of the stuff going on around. We don't see the correlation between a lot of things, but I was saying keep the same energy the whole time. So
Yep.
keeping the same energy, like we just want to say, like let's just have a clean. Let's just keep the shit clean. There's another instance where J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar were beefing with each other. J. Cole dropped out in the beginning because he didn't see that's first of all, that's not his brand. That's not what he's about. He's never been about that.
Yeah.
He's been made it very, very clear. And after he did that, what do we do? What did everybody do?
They probably all knocked him.
They exactly what they did. In the comments, going crazy. Oh, he can't call himself the best if he don't defend the title. I'm like, bro, this is not a fight. That's not even how hip hop started. Hip hop started off the essence of music and needing to be an outlet, and actually talking about the social injustices that were going on around in a way that it was talking to the people.
Yeah.
And then people turned it into that because there was anger and aggression and there's violence and there's all of that still too, and there's drugs and there's all of that too, but it's not just that. And it didn't start because of people wanting to be divisive. It actually started by people wanting to bring people together.
Yeah.
That's how hip hop started. And if you go back, tell me I'm wrong. Look at how it started. And there was the gangster rap in there because that was part of the culture and that was all that. And it was a way of expressing that as well. There's a space for everything. But I believe people don't necessarily look at it for what it really is and look between the lines and kind of see, like, even when they're doing something, if I'm doing something wrong, I hope that I can see it before it's too late. You know what I'm saying? And like, how do people not see this? Like, how are you guys upset about what J. Cole did when he did the most honorable thing? And you guys made it seem like he was lesser than for it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Like you're lesser than for taking the high road now. All right. That's where we are in society. That's where we at. So for hip hop, we got to be coming at somebody to be on top. That's where we at. Okay. Maybe it's a culture thing. Maybe it's a human nature thing. Either way, we got to figure it out because it is a thing.
Yeah.
First step is what? What's the first step? Realizing there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And there's a problem.
Yeah, amen to that.
Yeah, but outside of that, you got anything else for the people that you want to let them know before we get up out of here?
There's probably plenty I could talk about, but let me I ain't got I'm just ready to stay positive with each other.
That's the name of the game, man.
Try to help each other move on in a better light. I'm ready for that.
I'm so ready for that. And you know what I mean? If you're not ready for that, hey, that's on you. But the thing is, you can only control one thing, and that's you. You control your environment and the information that you're being fed. You can control the people that are around you. You can control how you react to the information that you get. So just, let's all just start reacting accordingly and keep the same energy for everybody across the board. So if you're upset about something for one person or for one subject, you got to be upset on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Mm,
Don't and if we're not, let's just hold ourselves, to the same standard and look ourselves in the mirror at the end of the day and realize if we didn't quite do that the best way this time, next time let's just try to make it better.
yeah,
I mean, because ain't nobody perfect. But
that's right.
either way, we're gonna try to get as close to perfection as we possibly can. That's all. But other than that, let's go Phils, let's go Birds.
Go
Get the next
Birds.
goddamn win. And until next time, we're gonna sign out. Big B, appreciate you for tapping in. Make sure you guys go and follow him. Go ahead and show them, tell them what the at is.
At Pettit66.
All right, hit us up. And until next time, make sure you guys stay elevated.
Take care.
Yep.
Don't forget to smile.